She changed her name to Harvey is why we can't forget that she's connected to him. That's how I'm sorry. That's how she got popular in the first place, if we really want to be honest. So everybody like who's Steve Harvey's daughter? It added a little bit of a little bit of it factor to her to the point where Meek Mill want to put her in a rap song. So
Marjorie Harvey shouldn't have Steve Harvey's last name because her dad is out of jail now.
You mean Lori?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Lori Harvey.
Is that Lori Harvey's father? I thought that was the boy's father. I don't
No,
think
it's
that was.
Lori.
It is the
Lori
boy's
was
father.
adopted by Steve. And so I find that to be confusing because I know a lot of people say, oh, when the stepdad is taken over, you allow him to have all this power. But then it's like now everybody was like, no, but that's the dad. So I was just wondering what you guys' input on that is.
So is that Lori Harvey's father that got out of jail?
I don't think that's her father.
It is. Steve Harvey is not
Two
Lori.
different fathers. He one of the kids' fathers, but it's a son. It's not her. Her father might still be in jail. I'm not sure if he out yet.
Oh,
yeah.
it's in jail.
I think
even still, it makes sense. So in this particular instance, you already know why she wanted the kids to have his last name. Everybody wants to be associated with prestige, fame, and whatever. You have a better chance at life when somebody hears that your father is Steve Harvey, whether stepfather or biological father. So, it makes business sense to do if you want to set your kids up for success. The fact that she changed her name to Harvey is why we can't forget that she's connected to him. That's how that's how she got popular in the first place, if we really want to be honest. So everybody like who's Steve Harvey's daughter? It added a little bit of a little bit of it factor to her to the point where Meek Mill want to put her in a rap song. So
But people seem, well, at least men seem to be bothered by what her biological father may think or feel like, or like, how would you feel if that was, I guess, your son or your daughter taking the stepfather?
I would be pissed, but the same way I logically just broke it down, that's what I would understand would be going on. I'd be pissed because it's like, that's my daughter. But naturally, she could also take that as a stage name, So.
I'd be like, you forfeited your. I mean, and I know
because 20 years of absence, for whatever reason, is a long time.
Yeah, and I know they were pretty high or I don't know if we want to go into that, but then I don't know. How old was she when
she was 6?
See, I don't want to speak for men, but I don't know.
Look. Let's call a spade a spade. Dude went to jail. The kids was young. Steve started to make some bank. Got with the mama. Adopted the kids. The dude was gone for about 20 years. It is what it is. Steve Harvey, in my opinion, made a bad call, but that's what he wanted. That's the woman he wanted. So I can't knock him for that. Listen, but I would not have done it.
Let me just say this.
But I understand that, you're gonna adopt the kids. They get a better life, and that's just the way it is. Dude got pinched. It is what it is.
But don't we always argue on these websites about how stepdads don't have power? And here she is for giving him all of this power. Like, this is the man who said, hey, I'm going to take on you and your family. So we always, in these sites, we always talk about stepdaddy power. And she gave it to him. And then we complain.
Well, she lost her kingpin or boyfriend or whatever the hell he was. And she needed, Steve Harvey had the comedian thing going on at the time, so she's gonna give it over to him when he's doing all right. Of course, like no man on that level is gonna accept being second to a woman.
AP,
in most cases,
it's a saying in the around the space, right? What is it? Beta bucks or alpha plucks, beta bucks, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Damn. All right, so it's about a mating strategy where the women pick the man that they initially wanted and they have kids with them, and then they either break up with them or that relationship dissolves, and then she gets the safe option. I think that the Steve Harvey thing kind of like solidified that like as a prime example of how that actually happened, because she has a type, right? She like for that era,
Ballers. She like
you know what I'm
ballers.
saying? The dudes that was getting it in. So you went and got one, he got booked, then you got another one, he got booked, and then you go get a comedian that's a panderer. I think she was like, all right, I done got enough kids out of the real ones that I wanted. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and
I think that she just likes powerful men. So even if it's not, legal, I think she just likes men who have power. And I don't think she can foresee the fact that she was gonna get Steve.
Yes, she did. She no,
The
she no, no, no.
opportunity.
Wait. She turned down Steve when he was a nobody. Steve had to build
He's really
himself
a
up because
nobody.
he
He was
always
not. He
yeah,
had stuff going
no,
for himself.
when he didn't have money. No, she would not date him. He built him. These are Steve Harvey's words.
Steve
He
Harvey
built
did
him.
say that.
He built himself up. Once dude was out of the picture, he built himself up and came in and got her.
No, but he also said that he knew she was the type of woman that he just couldn't come at her. He knew he had to level up basically to deal with her.
Level up.
That was kind of what he said. That was what he was getting at.
So just to kind of circle it back to the original question, I think like when we're talking about kids, like I would get the conversation, but we're talking about a grown adult, right? Like Lori Harvey is an adult woman who at this point is able to make that decision for herself to either take back her biological father's name or keep her stepfather's name, right? Like for the internet to kind of be going crazy about this, like she's 12 years old, I think is absolutely ridiculous. Like that woman really only knows one father, right? And so for her to choose to keep that name, I would understand it. And if she chose to switch it back to her biological father's name out of respect for him, I would understand it. But the idea that like we can weigh in on a grown adult and how two parents have raised this child into adulthood, I think like it's a moot point. Like I don't understand why it's a topic of conversation amongst adults.
What I think is interesting is I just read in the chat, and I know you're going to read the super chat later, but Kevin C said that, does Lori Harvey's father, is he happy that Steve Harvey assumed the duties as stepfather? Does not seem so. Unfortunately, though, like, in that case, then, who is he more concerned about? His pride and his ego and the way that he looks, or the future of his daughter? Like, that is just so...
Oh.
It's 2023. Like names I don't think mean the same as they used to because women aren't even taking. Well, they do to me like traditionally, but last names like some women are either hyphenating their name or they're not even taking their husband's last name. Again, to me,
future husband.
Yeah, like I took my husband's, so I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
It really has nothing to do with that. This is what it really is on his end. And I know I'm not a dude, but just kind of hearing conversations sometimes, what it really has to do with is the fact that now he was that dude when he was originally with her with the mom. Now, Lord, what's her name? The mother, whatever her name is. Marjorie is with Steve Harvey. When you compare the two,
that's a good point.
He know that there is no room for him to even slide back in, to even get access to her. A lot of times when you go in as that man, he knows she was feeling him, had his baby, with her because he was that dude. When he comes out, a lot of times they still want to slide back in. And he knows because she has a man that is, at that level, that there is no room or opportunity for him to get back in. If it was just some regular dude, like a bus driver, he knew, no, I'm just joking. If it was just a regular dude, he know in his mind that there is an opportunity that he can probably slide back in. I think that's what it's really about. So he can't compete with a dude like Steve Harvey at this point. And I think that's really what it's about when you was hitting about the ego aspect of it.
Definitely ego.
I mean, I hear what y'all are saying, but that dude old as crap, man. Like, look at him. He gray everywhere. Y'all got to realize at some point the men know. You've been locked down that many years. You know, I mean, we're black men. We got a lot of people that are locked up that come home and we talk to them. You know, some of them are immature like that, but that's not the long bunch of them. What they really want is an entrance back into the lives of their
Whose
children.
music? Just real quick, just to make sure like nothing gets dinged.
I think it's Marky Mark.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe, but like.
Go ahead.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
What they really want is the entrance back into their children's lives without the mother's interference. That's what I found more often. The moms, you already know how women are. They harbor resentment for the fact that they went to jail and put them in that predicament in the first place. So you know how it is. They just start overcompensating in areas. Well, I need to be here when you meet and such and such. Like the person is dangerous. Like, you know, I've seen and observed many of my homies get out of jail and they understand the situation with that woman being married now and all of that. But they're like, why are you doing the most? You know, we've talked about this, but now that I'm out, you're tripping and trying to, you know, they won't even, they'll make concessions to say, well, you don't have to bring them to me. You could take them to my mother's house. But, you know, that's really what I've more so seen. Dudes aren't out here thinking they about to get back with their baby mom after they've been locked down for 20 years. You see that on occasion, but we got to stop using those. In fact, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't want how many dudes that knock you down while I've been locked down. I don't even want that no more. I'd rather go start fresh.
How many dudes that knock you down?
Because that's more of a sure thing than some new one. That's why it's easy to double back to something that you've already had.
Right. Can we be real? There are women.
Harvey is like,
hold on. There are women in jail.
Trying to get what you can get. Stop
there
it.
are women marrying dudes in jail. Stop it.
Yeah, there are. But there are. But there's guaranteed conjugal visits. I watched that show. What's that show that they got where they get married in jail and then they get out? And
I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
Listen, I am that baby mama who I love my husband controls this household. So whatever he's saying, that's what we doing.
Love after lockup. Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I looked it up. Okay.
Yep.